Good afternoon, everybody. Buon pomeriggio a tutti. It's a great pleasure to open the season of the Smart Talk on 2022 today with the presence of Vincenzo, Ercole, Salazar, Sarsfield, who is the head of Global Italian Infrastructure of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and ANCE, the National Contractor Association of Italy. The Smart Talk will be whom I thank for the presence. Thanks, Vincenzo. The Smart Talk will be moderated by Costas Katsaros, our Vice President Costas Katsaros, and for the conclusion, we'll have the other Vice President Federico Franchina. Just a couple of words before starts. Vincenzo Ercole Sarsfield is an Italian senior diplomat with more than 25 years experience in economic diplomacy, and currently, as I said, is the global head of Italian infrastructure industry for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Italian Constructors Association. This means more than, and regarding the number, Vincenzo will be more detailed than me. This means more than 130 billions of works and concessions around the world in over 100 countries. So we can say that it represents the Italian construction industry in the world. We had the occasion to meet in Cyprus recently in November, in occasion of the Eastern Mediterranean Conference, and together also with Claudio Pasqualucci, who is the director of the Italian Trade Agency based in Beirut, but in charge also for Cyprus. And we agreed, of course, on the important business opportunities for the Italian construction industry in Cyprus and also in the Med area. So it's really important for us. Me as a president of the Italian-Cypriot Chamber of Commerce, and for us to open the season, as I said, of the Smart Talk with such important presence. Also, as you know, the chamber every month send to all members and partners a tender bulletin, and we have seen that in the last issue. Really important tenders in terms also of amount and project. So we believe that this is really important. It's really important to have an overview regarding the sector. We will give space also in our newsletter to the specific sector, and particularly on the framework, on the law framework regarding the tenders in Cyprus. So let's start. I'll give the floor to Costas, and we will start with the Smart Talk. Thank you.
Thank you, Giuseppe. Happy New Year to everybody. As we said, it's very important that we open this season with such an important guest, and I would like Mr. Salazar to thank you also on behalf of the Chamber for making us the honor to be our first guest for the first Smart Talk of the year. It's an opportunity to present the interest of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Italy and the National Association of Construction Companies that you are representing. The interest for Cyprus, and that's what I would like to ask you as a first question, to give to the audience an overview, a general overview of the main areas of interest of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and of ANCE, the National Association of Construction Companies, so that we may know better what are the main topics of interest, main areas of interest.
Thank you very much. I'm truly delighted to be here with you digitally today. And thanks a lot for your very kind presentation. Actually, I could be silent all time after your very brilliant and kind presentation. Absolutely, for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, promoting the infrastructure sector abroad is really important. I would say for at least three main reasons. First of all, infrastructure is, with the defense and energy, one of the sectors that mainly affect the economic relations with the given country due to the amount of money which is transferred in this case. Secondly, infrastructure tenders are normally issued by the governments, by public authorities, which means that in order to compete with the companies of other countries, the impact of the embassies, the help of the embassies is really crucial. And third, after the projects are fully executed, are completed, they become a sort of a symbol of the Italian presence in a certain country, and they can also boost the demand for Italian products, for Italian culture, for the whole country. This is why the ministry attaches a high importance of promoting Italian companies in these sectors abroad. And ANCE is the industrial association which represents basically all the players, all the Italian players in these sectors, some national champions, but also small and medium-sized enterprises which have a relevant niche of skills that can deploy abroad. And they are active in all fields of infrastructure, from transport to energy to social infrastructure to construction of buildings and other activities related. Thank you. Could you briefly speak us about your personal role within the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and ANCE? Surely. My role is very simple, I would say. I try to create an organic bridge between one side, the Italian companies, which want to work abroad, and on the other side, our embassies, the Italian embassies in the world, related structures like the Italian trade agency offices, the local chamber of commerce, the bilateral chamber of commerce, and through them, of course, the local governments. And this is for abroad. And in Italy, I try to create the same bridge with the institutions. I mean, of course, my ministry, but also the financial institutions, for instance, like CDP, like SACE, like CIMEST, which financially support the Italian activities in foreign markets. So in order to do that, I promote, I organize, and have the pleasure of leading missions of companies abroad. And I try to help the Italian companies to solve their problems where they can occur, and at the same time to advance their interest in the best possible way. But it's not a single role. I do it with the full support of the Farnesina and also of the colleagues of the international activity of ANCE, of course. Having you with us, and given that ANCE is probably the biggest constructors association in Italy, it would be really important for us to have your views on the current status and perspectives of the local economy and the business opportunities that may arise. How the infrastructure system in Italy has recovered, what was particularly the strategy for this recovery, what measures have been applied by the ministry, and how ANCE
has been involved in supporting the business? And also, could you please give us an overview of the main indicators and the ratios about this recovery?
Sure. Thank you for this question, dear Mr. Chairman, dear Kostas. During the most critical phase of the pandemic, the Italian government, my ministry and ANCE tried to support the Italian companies in every way possible. Among the initiatives, I would like to recall especially one, which is the launch of the Pact for Export, an initiative proposed by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation in order to relaunch the Made in Italy in the world. It was an inclusive path with all the industrial associations participating, joining the pact, and the delivery of extraordinary financial public resources in order to do that. And the initiatives were divided into 6 pillars: the communication, the integrated promotion, training and information, trade fair system, digital commerce, and of course also subsidized finance. And the ministry created also a website, export.gov.it, which can help a company to identify the services most suited for their needs, and also download the in-depth content or request a personalized advice. This was during the most critical phase of the pandemic. But now, fortunately, I can say that Italian economy has been registering a strong acceleration, higher than expected. The GDP last year is estimated to increase by 6.3%, which is not bad after the very tough years of the pandemic. And the next year, this year in 2022, we should grow by at least 4.7%. This estimate underlines an efficient use of the funds of the National Recovery and Resilience Plan, which in the case of Italy is the biggest in Europe, and the implementation of very structural reforms in Italy that will lead the country to be one of the most innovative in the world. Also, The Economist a few weeks ago had the first page about the Italian recovery. So we are very optimistic about that. Also for construction, all the main indicators available show a positive performance. The ISTAT is the National Institute of Statistics in Italy. Index of production in construction marks a 33% increase in the first 7 months of the last year compared to the same period of the previous year. ANCE estimates a rebound of almost 9% in production levels, mainly driven by the housing recovery sector, which is linked to the efficient use of energy efficiency. So I think that which is very good, because if the national construction sector grows, of course the Italian companies will have also more power in order to handle international projects in foreign markets, and particularly also in Cyprus.
Since you are referring to international projects, please tell us a few words about the Italian infrastructure industry activities outside of Italy in the foreign markets.
Absolutely. ANCE every year prepares a report about the Italian sector abroad, the activity of their associates in foreign markets. And in the latest 15 years, the foreign turnover of the more or less 50 Italian companies which are part of the report, ANCE has more than 20,000 companies, associates, okay, but the biggest one are around 50. And it shows that, the report shows that in the latest 15 years, the foreign turnover has more than doubled, okay, which is an annual increase of about 9%. Now we are talking about 15 billion euros of international turnover. And the companies are, as Giuseppe previously mentioned, have works for more than 80 billion euros, plus around 30 billion of concessions and 50 billion of backlog, which is really good in more than 100 countries. They are conducting more than 800 construction sites in these countries. And we can say that 75% of the turnover of the activity is international, of the main Italian companies, which is good because, of course, it shows that they can work in every kind of geography, every kind of soil. They know different situations, also because the Italian territory is not plain, it's not easy to build in Italy, and so they can take challenges wherever they go. And I would say that they are shifting mainly towards the most advanced countries in the world, especially Europe, especially Northern Europe, Northern America, but also the Middle East and Oceania, which means that they are ready to take the challenges that these countries where the business environment is very good can pose, because the cost of entry is higher, but also the benefits could be higher. So Cyprus is certainly a target market, and we aim to work more in this country.
Since you are referring to Cyprus, and there is an effort locally, both locally, and also there are some international groups that are monitoring this effort of Cyprus becoming a business hub in the area, to set itself as a hub for business. What is your opinion about that perspective and the potential added value that Cyprus may offer for companies from Italy in your field?
Well, I fully understand, fully share the reasons that are inducing Italian groups and also from other countries to look with great interest at Cyprus. It's true that this is a relatively small country, but the world is full of excellent examples of small countries that are very attractive for international investments, and Cyprus is certainly among them. It's no exception. Taxation is relatively low. The quality of the infrastructure is good. There are very significant natural resources. The GDP per capita is similar to that of Spain and very similar to that of France or Italy. And in addition, its geographical positions and also the relations that the country, the government effectively maintain with the entire area poses the country as a natural hub, which means that an Italian company can establish its headquarters in the island and look at opportunities within the island, but also in neighboring countries. Let's not forget that Cyprus is a full member of the European Union, which gives access to a wider market.
The chamber, the Italian-Cypriot Chamber of Commerce, is trying to support, of course, all Italian companies to do business with Cyprus, and specifically important Italian groups involved, amongst others, in the infrastructure industry. Is the area providing a particular interest for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and ANCE? And if yes, what is the specific support that the association and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs can offer to the Italian companies so that they better support them to do business and pursue opportunities in Cyprus and abroad? Since we are speaking about Cyprus, I'm asking about Cyprus.
Well, certainly the whole area of the Eastern Mediterranean and Cyprus in particular is of high interest for both the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and ANCE. Some national companies have been already investing and participating in tenders in the island, and others have expressed an interest in joining and following the previous ones. It is for these reasons that we participated last November in the Eastern Mediterranean Conference, which was held in Nicosia. And for this, I would like to thank again the Italian Trade Agency office in Beirut, which is responsible for Cyprus, but also you of the Chamber of Commerce and the Italian Embassy. We had a very interesting overview insight of the opportunities that are in the island. We understood that there are significant developments in the tourism and real estate in the main cities of the island. There are also interesting opportunities in participating in projects which will be launched by the government to facilitate the energy transition, which is a crucial challenge, I would say, for the country due to its high share within the European Union of dependence on fossil fuels, but also which is a great opportunity taking into account the amount of money which will be deployed also under your national recovery and resilience plan. We look also with green interest at the opportunities in maritime and social infrastructure, for instance, in the construction of hospitals, universities, and as well as in the gas sector, which is, of course, one of the main assets that the country can offer to international players and also Italian companies.
Keeping this short, I have one last question. Based on your experience and your position, how do you think that the chamber, the Italian-Cypriot chamber, could contribute to the strategy of strengthening the business relations between the two countries and the international cooperation in the area? What would be your advice and your views on its role on that part?
Well, first of all, I would like to congratulate the Chamber for the work it carries on in order to strengthen the economic ties between the two countries, between Cyprus and Italy. In particular, in the infrastructure sector, the Chamber's activity is already of enormous benefit for the Italian companies. The bulletin which you issue regularly presents to its network the tenders issued by the local authorities. It's very well done. It's very well done. It's very effective timing. It allows companies to have the perception of how the local market is moving and how these opportunities can be seized. Of course, this preliminary scouting by the chamber should be followed by a direct intervention by the companies concerned. And my suggestion to the players is to always do it with the intermediation of the chamber, in order to maximize the chance of success, and also reducing the risks of wrong choices. I really hope that emission of ANCE companies can be organized in Cyprus in the following months, and I would be very happy if it could be organized together with you and your institution.
So much for your kind words, and we will keep pushing things towards this direction. Let me bring into the discussion our Vice President from Italy, Federico, for the conclusion and a couple of last words with Mr. Salazar. Thank you very much for your time from me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kostas, but above all, thank you, Vincenzo. Thank you, Ambassador, for your very interesting discussion. I think, as many other participants, think that we need more time and more hours to go into the deep. I just want to highlight some points. Relations between Italy and Cyprus have very ancient roots. We have to remind ourselves that Cyprus was a Venetian island centuries ago, and how is important the infrastructure in the East Med and the Mediterranean. We have seen last year with the disaster of the Ever Given ship in the Suez Canal, that I don't know if, but I'm sure that most of us know that the Suez Canal was built by an Italian. So this is another achievement of our nation in the field of infrastructure, as Vincenzo has well highlighted, as well as what we have suffered, and we're still suffering with the pandemic, but also we have another nightmare to deal with, the energy crisis. Remind us how is interconnected our world, how infrastructure, not only the usual infrastructure, but as Vincenzo has very well mentioned, those infrastructures in the field of oil and gas, in the maritime, and also hospitalization play a relevant role still today, but even in the future. So we see in this sense that Cyprus shows a lot of potential in terms of growth in the field of infrastructure. Cyprus is at the beginning of oil and gas exploration, and I have only to say that 3 years ago, when we started with this adventure of the Italian-Cypriot Chamber of Commerce, most of people that were in contact with us, they were a bit skeptical about the oil and gas, the infrastructure, for example, the LNG terminal, the LNG facilities, the pipeline, and so on. Well, today, just 24 months after, we have a complete change of all the situation, and we know how is important the exploration, the exploitation of energy resources that are really close to us. To do this, we need infrastructure. We need a really well-placed company that have know-how, that have employees, that have knowledge of all the system and all the business, the very, very specific business that we are talking about, and so on, as Vincenzo has also highlighted how these could have a very huge impact if starting from the essential facilities in the field of healthcare, in the field of oil and gas, we can have from Italy's side, but also with a positive effect in the host countries from what Italy is able to do in other fields. So I think, and I do hope we will have more and more occasion to explore and exploit the relations between Cyprus and Italy in the field of infrastructure. We planned to arrange a commercial mission with Cypriot counterpart from with the Italians one, with ANCE, of course, and with other company parts part of ANCE. So my very, very thanks to Vincenzo for his participation. Thanks to all participants that have followed us, and of course we will keep you informed from our activity, from our tender bulletin, and about all events that we will already planned to organize for this year and for years to come. So have a good afternoon to everybody, and thank you very much again for your participation and attention. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all. And let's also thank Ernesto Pianelli from the Embassy of Italy in Cyprus for his kind greetings and the Embassy's kind greetings, and welcoming the interest of ANCE for Cyprus. It's very important to stay connected and try for the best possible outcome. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Good afternoon to everybody.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you. Thank you very much.